Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire, where we're going to be starting off this episode not with a character you see before you, despite the fact that Cobra Cadabra single-handedly dealt with all of the evil minions from Monster Marsh, meaning that up until this point we haven't had any deaths in this log, which is glorious to say the least, because instead we're going to be swapping them out to allow Deja Vu some screen time, of which I promised you guys in a previous episode, so it's time to place her on the Portal of Power and check out her inverted colours, you know, now that she gets more than 2 frames worth of screen time, unlike for Chunky Mountain, where literally we put her on only to take her back off again, because that's how Chunky Mountain elemental areas work. Man, that's a bit of a mouthful. But anyway, we're going to be starting off with her, because that way we can finally actually accept the gifts from this here present. And so, when I started off this episode, I was mentioning about how we haven't had any deaths so far, so no doubt that raises the question, what do I mean by deaths? You know, Skylanders can be used again and again, even if they're defeating the level, all you need to do is beat that level, and then you have access to that same Skylander again. Well, not in Locke, my friends, because in Locke, when a Skylander is defeated, they are classed as dead and cannot be used again throughout the remainder of the playthrough. And whenever certain areas, elemental areas pop up even, I must swap out for a core Skylander corresponding to that element, because that's what this log is all about. Limiting myself to just for 16 cores of Skylanders Trap Team to hopefully give these guys some of the love they deserve after having been so outshadowed by the Trap Masters. Anyway, it's time for us to head out for Telescope Towers now, with the Deep Stew having been skipped over. Well, yep, that's the hope. I mean, clearly she's not getting away, because we can actually see her wanted post at the bottom of the level, which indicates that she is indeed ripe for the capturing. So, you know, it's a shame that the level really does spoil whether you do or do not get her in the end. You know, I'm pretty sure this is the only game I know of where the loading screen actually spoils the level ahead of you. I'm sure it's good because it's unique, but it's bad because it's a spoiler, and no matter how uniquely you spoil something, it still spoils it all the same, and it's no good. Anyway, I know what to expect from this, because this was one of the levels I checked out during my first video with inverted colours, and let's just say it's pretty nuts. This level is very colourful as per the normal colour palette, and in the inversion colours it's no different. We have purple, grass, blue, objects to be destructurifying. I'm pretty sure that isn't a word, but hey, it is now because I said so. We have green villain quest icons, you know, purple, well, green skies, and then orange, like tethers running through them. I just want to call it tether because it looks just like the lines that tether your 2 scars together in co-play. Pulse House Plains. Oh, I love the alliteration of the name of this here area right now. Anyway, it's time to skip over that Deep Stew and be pressing this button right here. Yeah, I sure hope you guys like Deep Stew, because I'm definitely trying to ensure it catches on just fine. It's just becoming a habit at this point. I'm going to call Dialogue Deep Stew for the rest of my life now.
That did something good.
It did do something good, and unfortunately this is some Deep Stew that I cannot be skipping through right now, and that is what we call unfortunate, my friends. But luckily we have a jump button which allows us to press the big red button. I thought the #1 rule of the inversion colours was to press the big purple button, but I suppose that rule instantly changed itself. You know, the game can never remain consistent in what it's actually asking from us, apparently. So yeah, there are magic elements in this game that pop up several times throughout levels, so naturally we're going to have to remain as Deja Vu for every single one of those, since she is our locked-in magic representative of this level. I mean, it would have been Cobra Cadabra had I not swapped out for Deja Vu in the hub area, but hey, variety in character screen time goes a long way. And you know what else goes a long way? Skipping over for Deep Stew right there, and it goes a long way because it shortens the screen time of the not so good stuff to allow more screen time of the glorious stuff, mind you. As if you can call my commentary glorious, and if not, then, you know, I'm sorry you don't like my commentary, but this is not the place for you. I'm going to make a channel that is an extension of my personality, and, you know, I'm hoping that those of you can enjoy the journey with me along the way. But those of you who don't, you know, you can just get out of it. This isn't the place for you, and quite to be frank, I can care less.
Skylanders
well, I couldn't care less about whether you support me or not. I appreciate all the support I do get, but, you know, I also appreciate all of the hate that I don't seem to get, you know. I'm very lucky when it comes to comment sections because I don't normally receive a lot of hatred, and it's just, it makes the whole YouTube experience very heartwarming and fulfilling for me, and that's why I keep doing it, out of, you know, the enjoyment I find in this, the contentment I have with, you know, the few subscribers I do have. The greatest 400 subscribers on the planet, I tell you. Okay, let's be defeating this guy right here with Echo's incredible abilities. So incredible, in fact, that I didn't even need to bring in the super slam shock in order to finish him off. Anyway, we're going to come this way because I feel like it. We're going to hit the big red button, which is unfortunate because it's red rather than being purple, and I much prefer purple, but that's going to lead us to a story score to provide us with the perfect ha-ha funny moment. Just how a ha-ha funny is about to be, let's find out.
My birthday if I wanted to make a wish. To this I responded, I don't make wishes. Wishes make me.
So you mean when Ingenie asks anyone, any last wishes, their any last wishes is please ensure that Captain Flynn exists without him the Skylanders is doomed? Yeah, we have, you know, one part of the joke, which is the Flynn scroll itself, and then we have a second part of the punchline, you can go as far to say, which is my reaction of said story scroll. Either way, but two and two together, it is pretty ha-ha funny, if I do say so myself. Then again, of course I'd say that, because this is my series we're talking about here. Regardless, we have more big red buttons that have the sudden and urgent need to jump upon. Because that's just how big glowy things work, I suppose. Okay, so let's be pushing this into place. Our tail helping us out of the process right here. You know, Echo seems to have that tail strength going for her. So I can fault her for taking advantage of said tail strength and allowing a spark to pass through these cubes so we can access that key all the way up there. I like the fact that you loop round. It's very clever design work. Well, loop round. If I'm going to do a loop with my finger, I should probably do a fulfilling one of that. Man, the bubble is green. That is like both disgusting and awesome looking both at the same exact time. It's like two complete opposite sides of the spectrum coming together to culminate in something awesome.
What a crazy place.
Cosmic Chamber, again with the alliteration. This level is a huge alliterative fan, apparently. I'm pretty sure that's a word anyways, and if it isn't, it is now because I said so. That's just how it works. Whenever I talk gibberish, they should start putting all of my said gibberish in a dictionary. You could make an entire dictionary from all the gibberish I come up with. Anyway, it's time to skip the deep stew. And be mashing the second best button in the game, the primary attack button. Why is it the second best button in this game? Because it's the primary attack button that most people mash in most instances. Like seriously, there are very few Skylanders where the secondary and tertiary attack button are more effective mashes than the primary attack button. Few Skylanders indeed. The primary attack is designed to be the one that you use most. Now let's be heading through here to what I believe is another magic area. I believe correctly, so that means we head on back to Deja Vu. I'm having a rather strange sense of deja vu having put his characters on Portal right now. It's almost like I just played with her mere moments ago.
Hi, Ruiner.
Oh! Well, that's one way to introduce yourself, I suppose. But hey, just to get our, you know, daily Kung Fu Panda references out of the way, you know. First, before the Battle of the Fist, there is the Battle of the Mind, hence dramatic entrance. Yeah, little quote from your boy Dustin Hoffman right there. I mean, Shifu, but hey, he's played by Dustin Hoffman, so as far as I'm concerned, Shifu is Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, that's plot twist of the century right there. Okay, unfortunately, we took some nasty hits right there. You know, Deja Vu's health has seen better days, so hopefully we can level her up and get her health bar up to full once more. Turn it into the way things used to be. Is there any food on that platform over there? It doesn't seem like it. Only gold. Actually, no, I have a few problems with, but I would definitely prefer food over gold because having a high health bar on a Locke is far more important to having a high gold counter. Unless it's Torch's case, you know, in Torch's case we need a high gold counter in order to afford all those expensive upgrades. So speaking of upgrades, I should probably, you know, start going after winged sapphires a lot more often, so that then the next time we play with Torch, I'll be more likely to upgrade her. Or more capable of upgrading her, to be more specific, I suppose. Regardless, time to just... I almost dropped my controller because the thing is that it vibrates on smooth bounce pads, so even when I have capability of putting down the controller and just relaxing, I don't even have that capability because the vibration controller makes it move, so I need to keep my hands on it at all times. Stupid controller vibrations not allowing me to just sit back, relax, and just put down the controller for, you know, those few frames that we're super jumping for. Okay, here we go. A character that actually takes advantage of her other attack buttons. Who saw that one coming? Now, I would be pressing the best button in the video game right now to be getting this deep stew out of the way, but unfortunately that task is unachievable. And by that I mean it's an unskippable deep stew. What else would I mean by that now, right? Yeah, I am pretty crazy, look at me. Does this face not imply crazy to you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, let us begin. Do. No. Yeah. Okay. Already we're off to a good start. Okay, there you go. That's what you like to see. And then you got yourself the Boozer Cruiser. It's fine, this guy's done. No matter where he puts his next card, he's a done for, son. We're just going to, you know, we're not going to just defeat him, though. We're going to absolutely crush him. We're going to annihilate him. We're going to take him in our fist and just squeeze our own tight. With, you know, how crazy our supposed to science was right there, and the fact of the matter that that right there was some deep stew, which we get out of there immediately with the use of the best button of the video game. Undead element, let's be bringing in some good old backspin. I believe it's her turn of a rotation system. After all, we played with Funny Bone last level. So it's now Batspin's turn to play the video game, and I suppose it's appropriate because we did just waltz past Batspin's Soul Gem previously.
I just had the strangest dream.
I bet you I've seen Stranger Things. Haha, just to go back to that pun. Okay, so let's be using this awesome steam vent once again, although once again the steam looks more like smoke than anything, but steam and smoke are practically the same thing and they both consist of water, don't they? Although smoke is more oxygenized, I want to say. I don't know, it's been a while since I've done chemistry, so don't quote me on any of this. Except the part where you shouldn't quote me on any of that. You can quote me on that, but not the stuff that came before that quote that I just said you can quote me on. And if you want to quote me on the entirety of that sentence right there, you've just made yourself one long ass quote to type out. Editing Ignite did it anyway, didn't he? Wow, I think we should thumbs up for attention to detail that Editing Ignite goes through to make these videos as great as they could be. You know, if I wasn't me, I would thumbs me up. But I'm not going to thumbs myself up because giving yourself thumbs up is kind of cheating, you know, you should earn those. And I like earning those, which is why I suppose Future Editing Ignite puts so much effort in his editing. Okay, there you go, we be spinning right there, that's what we like to see. And we be spinning again, that's also again what we like to see. Ah, there you go.
Your time is running out.
Oh dear, now we have ourselves one Hoodsicle to be dealing with. How bad could it be? It's only Hoodsicle. Oh crap, it's Hoodsicle. Man, that tone changed very drastically, very quickly. Yeah, that is what we call a close one right there. So just like Fling Kong, whilst you're in the middle of attacks, Batspin's agility isn't all that great, unfortunately. Luckily we have a jump button, and this guy's scythe is really easy to avoid so long as you remember said button. And then we also have his Bat Cyclone for when he's stupid enough to do that. So basically, so long as we're patient, we have this in the bag, that's for sure. There you go, we remembered the jump button. Ouch, we didn't that time though, which is what we got to do, you know, much less. Luckily for though, that's what we got our healing abilities for. That, and also, so long as we get past this boss fight, we're safe. Whew, that's what we call a close one right now. Because yeah, after this, there's no more undead areas in the level. Though I say that, Painata ain't going to be no walk through the park. In fact, Painata's going to give us more of a challenge than what Dreamcatcher will, that's for sure. Okay, watch out for the side, and finish him off, baby.
Hoodsickle defeated.
So we're just going to, you know, not capture that guy and move on with the rest of the level right there. All of the hand gestures to go along with it. Once again, it's not a good night video if I don't make some sort of crazy hand gestures to go alongside all of the, you know, self-proclaimed best Skylanders player on YouTube gameplay. That's right, it's no longer gameplay that you guys are watching from Ignite the Fire right now, it's the self-proclaimed best Skylanders player on YouTube gameplay. I know that's quite a mouthful to say, but you know, that title prior to the Skylanders Trap Team Trapmaster Soul Link belonged to Demigod, but you know, after I single-handedly defeated Chaos with Wildfire, which was something I was alluding to either in this episode or a previous one, either way I alluded to it previously, you know, after performing that feat, I managed to acquire his title. You could say he put his title on the line, he risked it for a biscuit, and he got the biscuit in the end. I'm sure he's eaten a biscuit since then, so therefore he got the biscuit. Actually, that takes me back to the days of Jonathan Fun videos, and I'll elaborate further on that later. But for now, I want to go back to the fact that yeah, he put his title on the line, and after I was able to fulfill upon the challenge of one-shotting Chaos with Wildfire, well, not one-shotting him, but you know, defeating him with Wildfire solo-handedly. You know, a one-shot is more like I hit Chaos once and he's instantly defeated, because that is what we call impossible, even with Bash's charge and attack full, charged up to the max. Yeah, even with all that, that is impossible. And that's really saying something, because Bash, fully charged up, he has one mean old tailspin to say at least. But yeah, going back to Jonathan Fun videos, you know, the most fun thing about him was his love for biscuits, and really you couldn't deny it for man, because biscuits are pretty amazing. Tell you what isn't amazing, my portal plays and skill. Deja Vu just about fell off the portal right then. Oh boy, she's low, I forgot about that. Watch out for the balls of doom. But yeah, Jonathan, great friend of mine, and he's one that I haven't really been able to contact for a while. I believe it's just because, you know, he either didn't have a device to call his own, and he shares his device with the rest of his family, so as such he doesn't really get much time to speak upon it, and doesn't have much private room to call his own. You know, something along those lines anyway. But he was a great friend all the same, and I really enjoyed talking to him and sharing our joint passion for the love of biscuits. You say, people can be passionate about all sorts of stuff, you know, it doesn't have to be Skylanders or music, it can be something as obscure and as silly as biscuits.
I'm gonna stick it to you.
Oh, Painata, you stole my biscuits, now you're gonna pay. Nobody takes my biscuits and gets away with it. That is truly the worst crime that anyone can conduct. And now, you know, karma is gonna come back to really bite you in the ass, boy. Oh, you're going to regret taking them biscuits right now. I'm taking them biscuits back. May the power of biscuits be invested within you. I mean, I'm going to need it, you know, Deja Vu has seen better days with the health. I got too close. Come on, Deja Vu, let's clutch this girl. I don't want to die. I want my biscuits back. Luckily, Painata's slow, so his attacks shouldn't be too hard to dodge, but I'm going to shut him now before I want to jinx him myself. Really get much closer than that. Look at that health bar down there. 4. We have 4 measly hit points left. 4. 4. 3 less and it would have been 1. That was the most insane clutch I've ever seen. Deja vu. Let's go. That's the power of biscuits for you. I told you the power of biscuits was invested within me, and that is for one sole reason I won that encounter. You know, without the power of biscuits, I was doomed. You know, Deja vu definitely would have lost there without the power of biscuits. And that just goes to show you, this is everlasting proof of the power of biscuits. You know, Jedi say use the Force, I say use the biscuits. You won't regret it. Believe me, this is life-changing advice, this right here. You know, if you see a biscuit, eat it. That is advice you're not going to hear anywhere else, I promise you that much. Okay, it's time to take out the joke, which is dream capture.
You're too late, Sky Ruiner. I've already learned the secret.
Sky Ruiner, I like that nickname. Not as much as Steep Studio, that is clearly the one main meme of this series. That is like the peak of meminess content. Meminess? I also quite like that word, that's a good word. We should also add that to the Ignite the Fire dictionary. Another awesome word that I came up with. Okay, let's be taking out Dream Capture right here. Okay. She has more beds, which is going to be no problem whatsoever, because we just continue to press the attack button and win. Oh crap, I'm stuck. That's what we call unfortunate. Okay, there we go, I'm no longer stuck. You know what, we may have fallen off, but it's fine. Just watch out for tornadoes right there, sweet. Yeah, last thing I want to do is die to Dream Capture. You know, dying to Dream Capture is quite possibly the most embarrassing thing that one could possibly ever conceive of doing. Time for the cheese! Oh, I love me some good cheese. Ah, the cheese didn't pay off, that's unfortunate. Okay, come on, let's defeat it before more beds spawn, otherwise we fell off the cliff and Dane. Oh man, we fell off the cliff and Dane, quite truly. Oh boy. That moment where Deja Vu is actually looking quite low and you get terrified about the boss fight which you are about to humiliate yourself with. Oh wait, never mind, I forgot for a moment there that Dream Capture is still a joke, no matter how low your health bar might be going into it. Oh man, we are 8 levels in. And still not a single death to our name, and 2 clutches to call our own. This game is so incredible, it's just, oh, it's got the goosebumps running. Look at all those, I mean, you can't see nothing because there's not literal goosebumps there, but you know, I gotta bring in some tension into this somehow, so by just bringing up a word goosebumps, I give you goosebumps, do I not? So let's be pressing X button to continue with the rest of the game so we can move along to whatever the next level is called. Chapter 9 is so forgettable I can't remember the name of the damn level. One thing I will never forget, however, is the location of the skip button on my controller, because that is what we call for this button of the game right here. Anyway, there seems to be a present ready waiting for us, so let's see what it has to offer. Oh sweet, a wooden hat, which we are not going to be wearing. I mean, that hat looks like many things, but with inverted colours, wood is not one of them. So here we go to the Mystic Mill, right up to my tongue. I was going to call it Misty Marsh, but you know, that's kind of the mix of Mystic Mill and Monster Marsh to get Misty Marsh.
You know, flying through a storm like this sure is tough. For any pilot other than the great Captain Flint, that is. Boom! Case in point, those
But yeah, it's time to start the Evillikin saga, because from this point up until Scrap Shooter in Chapter 10, we have nothing but Evillikin boss fights with the exception of Rage Mage, and apparently me skipping cutscenes, which is not what I'm skipping. I only intend to skip the Deep Stew and not the cutscenes, so that is fine. As I did the first time round, I'll just put the cutscene in post. Okay, here we go with this wooden boxy thing, Bob. There you go, that's also what we like to see. Boom, and press that magical R2 button to regain control of the ship. And now we have a... I was about to say we have a cutscene, but this is Deep 2, so I'm just going to skip it all the same. Yeah, because Wood is born, that makes total logical sense. Aye, the cannon did go pretty boom, didn't it? I mean, do you really get much more boom than that? No, not really. So yeah, due to phone storage and all that, and the fact that this session is actually getting quite late at night at this point, you know, it's 10 o'clock, I was recording this, I'm gonna record one more episode, and then call it a day for this session, and then record the final few episodes next weekend. And the only reason why I'm even recording the next episode after this is just because it's Secret Service, the Supreme Stink, and Evil Looking Factory, which are two of my favourite levels, so why would I not want to have the capability of performing them back to back this here series now, right? Because yes, this game, big fun, really enjoying this I am. I mean, now I sound like Yoda all of a sudden, which I have no problems with whatsoever, because Yoda is wise like me. I'd make a great Yoda, you know, maybe I am just the Yoda of Skylanders, who knows? I haven't heard anyone call me that ever before, but, you know, maybe someone did, I just didn't know about it. You never do know, now do you? Like in this case, I literally don't, because I literally just mentioned about the fact that it did happen, I didn't know about it. But yeah, so much about, you know, limiting Star Wars references, because I am no Star Wars nerd, as we all know. I just enjoy the films on a more casual level. You know, so How to Train Your Dragon films and stuff like that. I'm a die-hard fan before and all. So much of a die-hard fan that I will write, you know, a sequel, because the best sequel to How to Train Your Dragon is no sequel at all. You know, let's be destroying that there turret right there. So may that be the words that are embedded upon your head throughout the remainder of your lives. The very fact that the best sequel to How to Train Your Dragon is no sequel at all. Yeah, sure, whatever you say, Flynn, whatever you say, my friend. So we're going to press the X button to continue on with a little.
Outstanding! Now we can take Skylanders.
Yeah, I was pretty outstanding, but we're going to skip through that deep stew so we can head straight into the debut for Fist Bump right here. So let's be placing him into the Dractanian portal. He's actually my second favourite core of all 16 of them. I prefer Blades, but Fist Bump is also really cool. Like, sure, he's slow, but his attacks are so powerful and have such a great flow to them. Like, seriously, you create these trip lines, and every single time you attack, those trip lines spike up. It's amazing flow. And because of how powerful he is, he's really effective. And not to mention, he's got kind of like a panda type design to him, so he's cute. You know, he's got everything that you're looking for in a Skylander. He's got that cartoony aesthetic, he's got the really great personality, he's got the amazing animations, and he's got the power to boot. Okay, let's be opening up this gate right here. These guys thought they had a chance. Well, they were wrong. Okay, balloons are stronger here, which means we get more screen time with Fist Bump, which I have no problems with whatsoever. Okay, sweet, now that's been dealt with. So now I have more of these ability dudes to worry about. Time to be sliding on through right here. These guys think they can take me down. Well, you know, they thought wrong, despite the fact that I'm taking some nasty hits right now because these wooden ball shooting rascals are really getting up my nerves with all the easy damage that they can rack up. Luckily for us, we have Bamboo that can heal us up, which ties back into Fist Bump's panda-like design, because of course pandas eat bamboo. You know, that's their main dietary needs, you could go as far to say. But imagine if pandas started eating meat. How insane they'd be, because they're so big and plump, they're, you know, really hard to actually injure due to all of the fat acting as protective cushion. So, you know, if they started turning around and eating humans, we'd be in trouble, because we'd struggle to defend ourselves against them, just because, you know, they're pretty strong too. They have a lot of muscles as well as fat. You know, if pandas had the brain capacity to learn how to use that fat to gain momentum in their attacks, you know, they could become a real nasty predators to deal with. I mean, granted, a lot of other animals, if they were actual predators of humans as well, would be in trouble. Like, there are animals that would, you know, take a chunk out of our legs, like sharks and all, but, you know, as soon as a shark takes a small bite of you, they, you know, they want nothing to do with you, because to sharks, humans taste disgusting, so as soon as, you know, they've bit you, they're not going to want another bite, you know, they're not going to go back for seconds. Because sharks eat seals, and so most of the time when sharks go out for surfers, it's just because they confuse them with a seal. Anyway, it's time for Blade's debut. I was talking about him prior to play some reporter right now, saying about how he's my favourite course. So of course I'm glad to finally be introducing him to the Locke. Yeah, the only problem with sharks is, sure, you know, they take a bite of you and then don't want any more of you, they're no longer interested, but, you know, all they need is one bite and they've all of a sudden got your leg, and now you're handicapped and can't exactly surf again. Also, I said that this is Blade's debut earlier. I lied, because he actually debuted in episode 2 and I completely forgot. That is what we call, you know, a great facepalm moment if I ever have seen one. I mean, I would facepalm physically right now, but I'm too busy defeating all these guys to worry about different set of activities. Oh man, he has a lot of blades. Oh, thanks for the food, we appreciate it. Anyway, let's be bringing out another tornado right here. Yeah, luckily this guy's combos and his jumping attacks chain together very, very well, so enemies are dealt with very, very quickly due to the sheer amount of power and order this guy has in battle. And some really crisp looking animations too, to do. You see what I mean? You really don't get much better than that. The Blaze just finished him off right there, and that guy had been knocked off deceivably, so I don't think we could have been any more efficient moving through that section right now. And here we go with Frankenstein himself, Frankenstein's monster. He's alive! Just to reference that classical movie, mind you. One so old, in fact, that it's in black and white. Okay, well, what we got over here? We got you, for starters. Okay, this is a part where you start to realise that you are in some thick trouble now. Luckily for me, I'm actually good at this game. Okay, there we go. Watch out for Frankenstein. Luckily we can jump right over it. Okay, now we've taken care of all of his allies, so now all we have is Frankenstein himself to worry about. Luckily for us, we can keep our distance with this guy. No need to take unnecessary risks and get up close and personal with him, because that, my friends, is when you die. Boom, baby, and just like that, the Frankenstein has been dealt with, and we still have 0 deaths to our name, despite how close Deja Vu was right there, you know. She kind of played death for a little bit during that Painada battle. That's one thing for certain. And another thing that is for certain is that I'm going to be pressing the best button in the video game to be skipping through this deep state right now. Because despite it being an inspirational speech, we're still going to get it out here. Hi, before we have a loading screen. Although the loading screens with the inverted colours look so much more glorious than that of the normal ones, because the colours are so contrasting and bright. They really, you know, just shock you, take you out of a moment, and really just give you something to gush over. But regardless, this episode is indeed coming to an end. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will of course be seeing you next episode. Until that moment rises, peace.